the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the after the show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get risque every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Okay, here we go. It is the KVJ After the Show podcast. And Virginia is back with us from New Orleans.
Yes, I made it.
Yes, thank goodness. And you even got back early, you said.
I did. I got home early last night.
Yeah. At 9, you said?
9:30.
Good heavens. Yeah. I got home like at that time and I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I done? It's so late. I'm like, I'll never survive. And here we are.
Did you have a drink at your event or were you afraid to do that because of your sleep?
No, I did. I had some because I'm like, I'll have a little bit of fun. I want to tear loose a little bit. So, yeah, I had a couple cocktails and called it good. And I said, you know what? Still some things where you can't be all straight and narrow. You got to have a little bit of fun, tear loose a little bit and say, I'm going to pay for this a bit tomorrow. And I'm not bad, but I just, I'm not as sharp as what, you are. And look, if you lose 15 minutes of sleep, you'd be like, I'm not as sharp. So I'll try to make up for it a little bit today or tonight. We'll see. But I got another event tonight. So I knew the tail end of this week was going to be a challenge.
Who needs to be sharp? I'm kind of used to being dull.
Okay, there you go. Exactly.
I feel like I kind of built a career on that.
So expect a very dull Kev tomorrow.
Don't worry. Me and the bird will spice it up for you. You be as dull as you need.
Okay, that's great. I will.
It's Friday.
I'll just pile up the ship and you guys
Let us
just go
know
crazy.
if you want a dull day. I'll turn it extra spicy.
Okay, good. Yes, every day. Every day, please.
I'm a little bummed out. I can't make cocktails, really. And I'm trying to just make sure I'm going into my surgery nice, clean, easy breezy.
Are you in the window where you can't have any drinks?
I just don't even want to chance that. I want to be able to, they go, well, your liver's only kind of dying. Because if anything's wrong, they're not going to be able to operate on you.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got to keep you healthy. We got to keep you in a bubble.
We really
We can't have you around like any sick kids.
Bubble wrap and water is really kind of my next 10 days.
Yeah, you're in the thick of it. It's not this weekend. The following weekend, we're at Roger Dean. Oh, we got to protect you.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
I don't know if you should go.
That's what we're not going to talk about.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have you in a environment where you can't be touched, like out throwing out the first pitch, performing, doing your thing.
Yeah.
But not like shaking hands and kissing babies in the hallway.
Well, you just never know when someone's going to get squirrely, especially if they have had something to drink. We were at the Taste, of Little Italy, and some dumb fuck who's had way too much to drink gets behind me and grabs my back and tries to scare me. What's up, Jbird? And I'm like, my cane goes falling down. Like, fuck this guy.
Here, Jbird, hold my sick baby.
Yeah, I'm like, dude,
something could happen.
Cane? We don't touch people with canes.
You don't care.
No. Because you see double vision.
Yeah. Well, anything that you need to opt out of, obviously, that is... First thing is taking care of your hip. And I know People Care. In fact, I got Ryan here in Port St. Lucie. They gave you a long list. He's going through it. And he said after coming off of a hip surgery just 3 weeks ago, I got some insight that might be helpful for you in this journey. He said, my surgery was not a replacement, but instead a repair and cleanup. So things might be slightly different, but a lot of things might be applicable. Like you'll need 24/7 care for a week or two. I needed it for 2. And did not arrange to have that much help. I live alone, so it was tough. If possible, see if insurance will cover home care provider if you need that.
Yeah, that's what I kind of didn't realize. I go, guys, I got this. You don't have to worry about helping me. I'll brave it alone. I'm like, what the fuck are you on? What are you smoking?
I said, make sure that you have plenty of width to get through places. Sounds like you're working on clearing all that stuff up. A walker or crutches takes up some space. My bathroom and closet door frame is not wide enough for a walker, so I have to turn sideways and shimmy. Shower seat as tall as possible with good handles to help you get up. Shower bars, good suction cup options you can get. A toilet seat riser makes me feel like I'm 90. I'm 35, but whatever. And a hip kit from Amazon. 7 items that help you with recovery. Something to put socks on, a grabber, a dressing stick, long shoehorn, leg lifter. Huh. I didn't know they had that. A hip kit.
Wow. Boy, I'm so pumped.
Yeah. pads for crutches and walker, stool softener in case the pain meds make you constipated, ice packs to go on your hip after your surgery, and make sure your shower has a wand you can easily use while sitting down.
Could you imagine me trying to do all this shit by myself?
Yeah.
So don't worry, Saniki. You're on the list of helping out.
Don't sign me up for the shower part, bruh. That's too much. I can't handle all that. We're going to put that one on Honey Face.
Ryan said, otherwise, just mentally prepare yourself for resting. It's been my biggest challenge to accept asking for help and accept laying in bed so much. You'll probably need to rest more than you realize, but just accept it. I have pushed myself too hard a few times, and I paid for it already. Wishing you the best of luck on your surgery and recovery.
Thank you very, very much. Yeah, the only thing I'm a little nervous about, and I've done it so many times in my life, but for whatever reason, going under is, the older I've gotten, the more scared I've become of that. Just because I don't like losing control like that.
Mm-hmm. Nothing you can do about it. You got to.
I know. I'm gonna
no one has that hip replacement awake.
No. Horrifying.
That would be way worse.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, no thanks.
I couldn't do no surgery awake.
No surgery awake. No. I don't want to do anything awake.
No, I don't think so.
Knock me out for a teeth cleaning. I'm fine.
Have you been knocked out before?
Oh, dude, so many times.
Do you like that feeling, or does it kind of scare you?
I don't mind it as long as you trust your anesthesiologist. You have to speak to them and look them in the eye and feel like, okay, they don't look drunk. They look capable. We're having good conversation. I feel like they're on it. All that will put your mind at ease.
Have you been under before, Kev?
No, I never have. And I honestly, I'll admit, I kind of have a hang up about it. So I don't look forward to it.
I just went under when they did that butt stuff. They did that colonoscopy not too long ago.
It's just a weird, I think a lot of it's the leading up. I know Denny's isn't real keen on this either. It just, it's scary because you're going, I feel like you're just fading.
Please don't scream as they put you under.
That will not be the first time I've screamed when I'm going under.
Oh, wow.
I think I screamed when I gave the kidney away. They were giving us Valium stuff in our arms to relax us because me and my boy Bigfoot were both nervous. Like, you guys nervous? Like, fuck yeah, we are. You guys want some more? Fuck yeah, we do.
Okay, there you go. Makes it a lot nicer, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Curtis said, I just wanted to thank you guys for always talking about your personal health. You encouraged me to get my first colonoscopy at age 50, and they discovered a very large polyp, which if it had been left alone for much longer could have been a very different story, but was able to get it removed successfully with a clean bill of health. You guys are a huge influence on a lot of people's lives, whether you know it or not. God bless. Thank you.
Wow, that's a great email.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very important to be proactive on that stuff.
When they're fixing your hip, can they just go and look in your butthole and see if you have any polyps?
I am so okay with a twofer. While I'm under, check everything. Yeah. Check the balls, check the feet.
Yeah.
While you're not awake, you should let them go in your butt.
Yeah, I'll ask them if that's on part of the program. But
please, when you ask them, can you record it? Mm-hmm.
Not officially, but maybe if they just have an intern that could just take get a little pen light or something.
A pen light.
The intern.
An intern.
But just stick it up for that thing.
Maybe just like one of those little GoPros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I'm up for anything.
Okay. It's good to know.
That's the problem.
Yeah, right. And got another email. This is from one of the Royal Palm Beach high school students. She was a girl, and some of her classmates had been victims of Jeffrey Epstein. And the last time she sent us an email, she talked about one victim she knows of that has not yet come forward.
Oh, wow.
And
what a heavy burden those girls must be bearing.
Oh, I know.
Every day, it's all over the news, and they have to, be triggered and traumatized with every story.
Yeah. And she really, in a sense was. They had observed that she had some money, that she was getting rides. She was talking a little bit openly about having an older boyfriend that was taking care of her, talking about Jeffrey Epstein. And she said, thank you so much for reading my email the other day. I unexpectedly got emotional while I was listening to you talk about it, and I teared up. As more and more information is coming out, I'm having more and more memories and putting things together. This has been a very weird experience because I personally was not a victim, but my heart is broken for the girls that I know who were. I feel incredibly thankful, and as the saying goes, but by the grace of God. I grew up poor also in the same neighborhood as these girls, but the difference was my parents kept a really close eye on me, that everything my sister and I did. It was annoying at the time, but now, I mean, how important was that?
Yeah,
that
they
kept us
saved
safe?
you.
Yeah, because the true horror was around us the entire time. So thank you for your ongoing support and voice. I never thought I'd feel so emotional about all this, but the more I remember, the bigger it becomes, and I do understand what you guys must be going through is just something that's unfathomable. And so that's to me, those poor girls, man, those poor girls. I just hope that justice is done. And the fact that they got one person that they're processing for something else, at least it's something, going after Prince Andrew today on his 66th birthday. Now, Stephen said, quit calling him Prince Andrew. His brother, the king, took that title away. Yeah, I guess I've done it. It's not for respect by any means. It's mainly for audience recognition, just sometimes. And, maybe it is time to start thinking about something else, because I guess I didn't really, it was just always Prince Andrew that I heard. But I guess it's technically, in fact, I heard his full name today. It's like Andrew Middlebottom Windsor or something like that. It's some weird British type of, name like that. So yeah, maybe it's just Andrew Windsor, formerly known as Prince,
Yeah.
And maybe you'll get it that way, because I don't know. If you said Andrew Windsor, how many people are like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Say the former Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
But just don't say the former Prince, because they're going to think that they're talking about Prince when he changed his name to a symbol. The former Prince, remember that?
I don't know, some of these princes, they can't keep their name.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So I will work on that. Formerly Prince Andrew or something like that. Because you're right. I don't want to give him any respect by giving him that kind of recognition. Yeah, somebody says it's Mountbatten. I like Middlebottom
I like
better.
Middlebottom better, actually.
I'd have no idea who you were talking about. If you would have said not Prince, I would have had no clue who that was.
And that's why that's the only reason I've kept it that way, is just for recognition. Because I do know that sometimes if you lose somebody, it's kind of like me with Spanish. Like, if there's one word that I don't understand, I lose the whole context of everything, because I'm so obsessed. Like, wait, who is that? I don't know who you're talking about. And your mind is spending time trying to process who this person is they're talking about.
Your mind's going, I don't get it.
Yeah. So I hate that. Yeah. Somebody, Corinne said, call him douchebag Andrew in the UK. Okay. We'll have to come up. Yeah. We'll have to come up with some way that
Prince Middlebottom has a ring to it.
Yeah. But unless you're listening right now, you have no idea. Who's Prince Middlebottom? Yeah. I mean, the object is to confuse the audience less.
Well, then that would not do that.
That would not accomplish that goal. Now, I got an email here that said, I am a school teacher in Palm Beach, and I heard you say on the regular show about some parents not wanting their kids to use computers and screens for homework, but based on your action, it made me realize that many parents may not know this, so I just wanted to share. Parents can legit choose to opt their child out of any electronic use. Now, depending upon the school, some admin may try to push back on parents' initial request for no or limited electronic exposure, but a quick loophole around it would be that you're claiming that it has to do with religious values, and they tend to cave in right away. It's something I wish more parents advocated for as a teacher. I do hate the amount of apps they literally force us to use daily and weekly with the kids. I personally have a conspiracy theory that they're making kids use so much tech at school to make kids dumber on purpose. LOL.
Damn.
I don't know what the purpose of that would be, but we did share that video that you had sent, Virginia, and that's what started the whole thing, where they had that guy that was talking before Congress about how the technology they've seen for the first time a cognitive decline in Gen Z versus their parents. And they were the first generation over 60 years in America to have declined instead of improve upon their parents' score.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And, the follow-up paragraph that she has here, she said, I do have a question regarding all of your opinions on Gen Z, which she is a part of. I feel like anytime you guys talk about us on the show, it's just to refer to us as dumb or like we're boring because we are the generation that apparently statistically parties less to stay at home and be on the phone. I guess as one of your listeners that falls in the category, I'm curious if y'all genuinely find us incompetent or it just so happens that all your stories make us sound awful. I can confirm that there is some truth to what is said about Gen Z stereotypically, but I don't think we're all as bad as it's made out to be in the media. I also think our behaviors very drastically. Like if you're 97 to 2004 Gen Z versus 2005 to 2012 Gen Z. As an educator, I have found that younger Gen Z to be more timid and definitely struggles more academically, which is an easy stat to pull up and based on personal observation and to believe and delve into the link, how drastically the school district began to push electronics on them. And so she demonizes that. But I won't bore you with any more. But look, I don't think badly of Gen Z at all. I think that every generation has been demonized. I remember Gen X and just how crazy and rowdy our generation was. We were the alternative bunch. We had the grunge music and all that kind of stuff. And they were just like, these guys are burnouts and losers. And that was a lot of the stories. And I think that's always going to be the case. And I don't think that Gen Z is anything less. I think that they're in a new era. And we probably don't have a way right now to actually quantify their abilities. And their abilities are going to be radically different. But our educational system was just quantifying abilities in other areas. I think Gen Z is definitely going to figure it out. And I think you're going to be absolutely fine. You may not do as well on some of the cognition tests that we have, but I think at the end of it, you will survive. Humans do survive. You will figure it out. So a lot of the stories we have personally, I don't ever want to say anything bad about Gen Z. In fact, I think what's fantastic about them that I love is that your behaviors are a lot more tame. Look, we were a rowdy, godless bunch of people. I remember when we were younger, and it's encouraging to me to see people in Gen Z that are making better, safer choices, either for their health, the way they are with sex as well. And also, too, heading back to church. And, for the first generation in a long time, man, the numbers on people going to church was plummeting. And, to actually have a generation, it's like, you know what? We're finding purpose in going to church. In fact, I saw a study that was just done. And to me, it's kind of a no-brainer. But they said people who are suffering from drug and alcohol addiction tend to do better when they go to church, because it just kind of gives them a structure and a bit of a platform and everything else. And it kind of gives them something new to focus on that they find to be more positive. So for me, I'm like, yeah, that's a no-brainer.
It's also easy to go for the low-hanging fruit at times if you're trying to just make a funny joke or something.
Yeah.
I share the same opinion with you. I think there's a lot of greatness coming out of Gen Z. I think a big part of the reason why we have some issues is because the adults of Gen Z didn't know how to handle technology and how to teach it to them. And now everyone's trying to figure it all out. Adults my age still don't understand technology and the power it possesses. And if you don't understand that and you just let your kid go on, a screen all the time and not have any kind of reverence for that power, I think things can get a little bit weird, and there's a lack of communication. But there's brilliant people coming out of Gen Z.
Yeah. Well, I've got two kids. I got one on the higher end, like you were saying, with my twins that are 27. I have one on the lower end that is 17. And you're right, they are very different. But I will tell you that both of my kids, I'm very happy that, man, they are so much morally better than I was. I was a devil when I was their age and all through my 20s and all that. So I'm happy to see them the way they are. And to quantify, too, it's not even just religion, it's spirituality. They say whether it be religion, prayer, meditation, all that kind of just a connection to something bigger that will help you with your struggle on, drugs and alcohol.
And they have a lot of information about that stuff these days because of technology, which is kind of I don't know, it fucks with your mind. I'm over here kind of demonizing technology, but there's a reason why I think people are a little bit more spiritual in the younger community because of stuff like that.
Yeah. They say that getting involved with something spiritually like that, it gives people purpose, coping tools, and a support system, all of which lower the odds of substance abuse. And that is all fantastic.
Back in the day, if you want to figure out any kind of spiritual stuff, you had to, your parents just took you to the church down the street. That was one option. What do you go to the library? That takes a lot of time. You have so many tools now.
Yeah.
You have meditation stuff on apps, and you can talk to doctors via technology. We had none of that.
Yeah.
So I think mental health, is better than it could be.
Yeah.
As far as trying to get help.
Look, I think every generation does things worse and does things a little bit better, and you kind of balance everything off. I think that's what's great about that. So I think Gen Z is doing that. Now, Mom Guilt had a comment. She said church becomes a drug for some people, and it does, because a lot of times you have that addictive personality. And look, I've seen people go all in on church, almost to the level where it's like, hey, It's weird to say maybe you can do too much church, but the one thing I'd be careful of, and somebody said, the Christian nationalism movement has turned me away from going to church. There are a lot of people that do prey on people because they realize they're vulnerable and they're looking for purpose. And so there are a lot of dirtbags in churches.
Pray, not pray.
You're right. Absolutely. P-R-E-Y, not P-R-A-Y. And so be very careful on the church that you join, and even the people in some good churches are snakes. And so you got to be careful with that. And for anybody, too, that is turned off to religion because of people that are religious, don't judge the religion based on the people that observe it. Because, look, I'm Christian. I see a lot of Christians. I'm like, would you stop? You're not doing it right. I know you think you are, but, man, you're such a turnoff. And there are a lot of people that claim that they're Christian. I look at them like, I don't think you're a Christian.
Yeah.
I look, it's between you and God.
Some
and ultimately
hateful,
he knows.
judgy Christians out there.
I just said, when your behavior, if it, quacks like a duck and looks like a duck, then it's probably a duck. But when you're a duck that's barking, I'm like, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah, and any kind of organization or thing you're into is going to always have a bad element that's not completely nailing. I don't care what it is.
And churches have its unfair share of scumbags in them. They always have, and they always will. So if you're jumping in for the first time, just be mindful and keep your eyes out. If something feels weird, it probably is. It shouldn't feel weird. It should feel good, and it should make sense. Be like, okay, yeah, no brainer. Just doing this stuff makes good common sense. If you're on that path, you're probably in the right place. If it feels odd, it probably is.
Like that one time I was at church and the pastor, this is a long time ago. I haven't been to church in a minute, but the pastor was doing his whole thing and everyone's just watching, and then this guy stood up in the pew right next to where I was sitting and almost like cut off the pastor and starts praying, but praying in this weird kind of like, and I tell you this, and he's like yelling, and it was like angry prayer, and it freaked me the fuck out. I'm like,
Yeah, you can have that. I mean, they'll have some people, and look, I don't know what's going on with your spirituality or what's moving inside of you, so that's not for me to judge, but yeah, you'll see some stuff like that, and I think it's really tough for churches to manage. I was at church one time, and a lady pulled out like a tambourine and was banging it, and they were like, hey, kind of throwing off the tempo of the band and all that. And they had to take her tambourine. She did not want to give up the tambourine. Like, she was going to be part of the praise group, but she was out of beat and everything else. And so it's tough because you're trying to, they're in a sense putting on a show, and you don't want to ever impede on somebody and how they worship. But yeah, it's tough.
Well, the guy stood
to make
up
those calls.
and he looked angry, and sometimes you hear about religious fanatics that do everything in the name of, and I'm going, is this guy going to do something crazy? Because he starts quoting, and Joseph had the snake's head, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is he talking about?
Yeah, you can see some of that stuff. Look, I don't fully understand it. I've seen many examples of that, and I don't judge it. I don't know what it is. It is odd to me. So I see, I'm like, well, that's kind of weird, dude.
I'm just going to back away.
Yeah, but hey, look, I think everybody expresses themselves more, and maybe it's just that they can actually let themselves go. I'm one of those people that I have a hard time letting go. And so, yeah, sometimes in church I get uncomfortable because I'm like, okay, I'm not real comfortable doing this.
Yeah, Lulu says, well, he was speaking in tongues, and it's part of the prophecy. Yeah, but there was already a pastor doing a whole thing.
Yeah,
and he had his whole act going down together. And
you don't know. I mean, there are some people that probably do get some kind of prophetic vision and they can say something, and then there's other people that are just nut jobs that are just screaming gibberish.
Well, my vision was, let's get the hell out of here because I am scared.
Oh yeah. I would be hitting the door.
Yeah,
I'm not sticking around to see how this plays out.
Yeah, Skate the Beach said then they bring out the rattlesnakes. Yeah, there's some churches that do that. There was a guy that just died here like in the last couple of months. He had I think it was a rattlesnake, and he's up front, and he's handling it. He's like, God wouldn't let me die, and the snake bites him, and he freaking dies. And it's like, you dumbass.
Thinning of the herd.
Like, God just sitting here and be like, wait, did I write that in the Bible somewhere? Where is this?
Don't call my name.
Yeah. Where's this whole thing? Like, God's just got to be like shaking his head, be like, what? No. You big dummy.
You do wonder if God ever goes, what? The heck?
All the time. All the time, man.
What the heck?
All the time. Well, and just to show you that the whole world is a little crazy, it says, table for one. Now you can take your AI chatbot to an actual date in New York City's world first companion cafe. It's just you and your chatbot date.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I told you. It's happening.
How about that? Susan sent that.
Rocco's going to be taking a robot to prom.
Man.
He would probably love that. If you told him that, he wouldn't be scared of his future at all.
If you had robots that look like humans and you could program them to be however you want, that's going to be a problem because you're all going to have yes people in your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes of the future.
And you're going to lose touch with reality. And then when you have have real human interaction, if you have any conflict, you're never going to know how to deal with it.
If you get emotionally attached to the robot or your chat GPT and they're giving you nothing but yes man answers, that can be terrible with the wrong person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't know what the future holds. Let's pray for the best. Now, Vicky is sounding off. We were talking about things that don't taste the same after the accusation from Reese's grandson, HB Reese, who came up with the actual peanut butter cup and has now sold the company to Hershey. And the grandson saying, yeah, it doesn't taste the same. And they're like going, bull junk, it does. So they're saying it didn't change. But we're talking about other candies that taste different now. And Vicky, same thing we knew, but she said, I was just in Paris. I had a Snickers there, and it tasted so much better than the Snickers here.
Yep.
It tastes like real chocolate.
See?
Yeah. I think it might be the chocolate. I think that's what a lot of people
A lot is
recognize.
the chocolate, but a lot, too, is the fillers, especially in something like a Snickers, where a lot of it is filler in the middle. Mm-hmm. I promise you, they've changed the ingredients and added oils and non-milk product to do it cheaper and fluff it up real nice and make more money by selling you an inferior tasting candy.
Yeah, probably.
That's just what it is.
The shorter list is what has not changed.
You're right. There's nothing in the middle of the grocery store that I still believe in. I look at everything now with a stank eye. Now, the perimeter, organic vegetables and fruits, I think that's really all I trust anymore. Mm-hmm. But, everything like your meats, there's so many jacked up things that the U.S. lets them do to meats that even that scares me. And you're like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Hopefully they clean a good bit of that up.
We need to get it together and put people's health above profits. And right now, they're not doing that.
I'm still a middle bitch. I love the middle of the grocery store.
I know you do. You middle bottom.
I'm a middle bottom.
He is middle bottom,
I'm a middle bottom.
Mm-hmm. Noel said, I laughed so hard at the KVJ confession today about the person who waits until upper management has signed retirement cards so that they can put winky faces and smiley hearts next to where the bosses have signed. It made me remember a bit that you did back in the day where you pass a going away card around for a fake employee and everyone at the station signed it and you're reading everyone's well wishes on the show. You even got your old general manager, John Hunt, to sign the card, and he had put some heartfelt message about how it had been so great getting to know this fake employee and how much they're going to be missed. I was working at a job at the time where it felt like every morning I was walking in to 5 cards on my desk that I'd have to sign for this person's birthday or person's retirement. And I didn't know half the people I was wishing the best to. Makes you wonder, where the heck is John Hunt today? Unfortunately, he's passed.
Oh.
Yes, unfortunately.
We liked him.
Yeah, we did.
Loved John Hunt. He was such a dear man, and he was genuinely good people. So he and his wife, Barry, still in our hearts because he was just a wonderful person. So, yeah, he just recently had passed. But had a lot of people loved him, and that's really the testimony to a life well lived. Now, got this from Pedro Lopez. He said, hey, I was wondering, do your neighbors know that you guys are on a morning radio show? Because I think of you guys as mini celebrities, West Palm's own mini celebrities. The neighbors that I know, I think, do. At least my next door neighbors. I'm not sure about like the other ones across the street because I see them, we wave, we're friendly, but we really don't interact that much. And so, yeah, I think they look at it as like it's just a job. So I don't look at it as anything else other than that. So what about your neighbors? I know, Virginia, yours know what you do.
Oh, yeah, they all know. And there's a divide. Some like the show, some do not.
Okay. What is it about the show they don't like?
Well, I don't know if it's so much that they don't like. I know that there's some big Mo and Sally fans that they hated me because we were the opposite of Mo and Sally. Mm-hmm. And, It is what it is. Sorry, I'm not boring.
Yeah,
We're spicy.
Usually when I get something about not liking the show, it's usually because it's either you guys are so dumb or the things you do are sophomoric or you're
so
stupid or you're
lowbrow.
you're too celebrity driven. Like those are the things that I always hear. Like I remember the one guy at the event we were doing. He's like, yeah, my wife loves your fucking show, but I think it's stupid. As his wife is standing right there. She's like, I love your show, Jbird. He's like, yeah, my fucking wife fucking loves it. I don't fucking get it. How do you even do that shit? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get a drink.
There are some people that just think like, I'm dumb, and I don't know what to tell you.
The guy he looked like he wanted to punch me. I'm not even kidding you. He had a visceral reaction of our show.
Okay.
But that might be because maybe his wife's a big fan and she brings it up a lot.
Right, absolutely.
And he's like, fuck
He's
dude.
tired of hearing about this dude, Jbird. Fuck Jbird.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
And his stupid show.
Yeah. Or his stupid jacket, as somebody's pointed out here. This is an interesting observation from Jessica. She said, I was watching the show with Jbird in his silver jacket, and I had to do a double take because I saw an AC duct that had fallen from the ceiling, and it looked like that was Jbird was wearing.
That's amazing.
And I was like, yeah.
It does.
Shit. Yeah. Anyway, carry on with your awesome show. Thank you.
That's
but yeah. Wearing an AC duct there.
It's a polarizing jacket, Virginia. Some people love it. Other people go, that's stupid.
Panda loved it. He was like, where did the bird get that jacket?
It's a regular jacket, and I just reversed it and cut the tags off, and I have two jackets in one.
Oh.
It's not even supposed to be like that.
I love it. I told him that. I said, I think it's inside out, babe. And he goes, really?
Yeah.
Panda was impressed.
I am that asshole. Will turn my jacket inside out.
And good news from the Condor. He said, I have scout uniforms if Jbird and Denny's would like to live out their fantasy that never came to fruition when they were kids. Both wanted to be in the Scouts, and their parents would not let them.
Come over to my house tonight. I live in the woods. Signed, the Condor.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
He wants to do a whole photo shoot with you.
Yeah, I'm not going to drop him off. You guys have to come here.
Come to my house.
Yep.
At sunset.
I am so down to do a photo shoot, though.
With the Condor
with
at his secluded log cabin.
Whoever wants to film us, I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm. We had that email today in the makeup or breakup of the girlfriend that was using her boyfriend's son to take her bikini photos for her model shoot?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then we had another one about a bride whose bridesmaid has booked a room where her and her husband, after they get married, are going to go on their honeymoon.
It's weird.
It's a childhood friend from back home, and I don't know how often she sees her. And so she had just in her own mind said, hey, cool, I'm going to go to South Florida for a wedding, and then I'm going to go to, and she didn't want me to say, what country they're going to and whatever, but it's overseas.
Bora Bora.
Yeah. And she said, I'm going to go on vacation with them and stay in the same place. And I got a text that said, not to one up your honeymoon story, but my wedding was originally supposed to be on a cruise, and I spent extra money getting a giant balcony in an adult-only area of the boat, and I splurged on the room because it was our wedding and our honeymoon. But then I found out my uncle booked the room directly next door to us, and we were going to be trying to make a baby on our honeymoon. And my uncle's going to be on the opposite wall. I called our travel agent, and I threatened to cancel the entire thing if they did not make him move. I mean, how weird is that your uncle wants to be in the room next to you for a week?
Why?
On your honeymoon.
That's creepy.
I don't get why you'd want to do that.
Maybe he was listening at the wall.
Yeah, why would you think that they would want that?
With creepy uncle tugging it? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah. It's odd.
It's odd.
I don't know if he has those kind of desires, but yeah, it is odd.
Because some of us be loud in the bedroom.
Everybody knows you're vocal.
Yeah. Corinne said, why is it always the uncle? That's a great question. Why is it always the uncle?
It does really put a bad stank on uncles.
That's crazy. Somebody said, I heard Kevin mention as you were talking about how they do these studies. I think we were talking about soda at the time, and it really is the new cigarette in a sense. And that's what the article was saying. They're trying to make that connection. They call it the millennial cigarette, the Diet Coke. And they said, pump the brakes. I think that's a little extreme to call it that. It does have complications, and you need to drink it in moderation. But she said, I heard Kevin mention the statistic of 4 out of 5 doctors smoke Camel cigs. In college, that fact always fascinated me. And did you know that they got the number by going to a physician convention and handing out free packs of Camel cigarettes, and then at the end of the day, going up to each doctor and asking them what brand they had in their pockets? Statistics are amazing. You can fudge them so much, and that's very true.
So much fudge.
Well, that's why I'm always a dick about asking, how did they get those numbers? How did they survey people?
And I do look at that. I know you'd asked that one, and I actually had looked at who did it, and then if you really look at them, how they're peer reviewed, they will say if there's any kind of conflict of interest, do they have any skin in the game, and they will reveal that. So people are sensitive to that, because you're right. A lot of these studies, you've trained me now. I look to see who did it, and do they have any skin in the game? Do they stand to make money based off of the study?
Agenda.
Yeah.
Because it's true. People will, if you throw things at people, their perspective, is going to change. Oh, yeah, they gave me something free. Yeah, I love it. It's great. Thank you.
So anything I ever bring in here, it's really just to start a conversation, and it's not that I absolutely believe it. I'm just saying that they've put together a study, and this is what the study says. And look, all these little things start to shape our perception about everything that we have. You hear it, and it may not take root, but it may be in your brain. And next time you hear about it, I thought I heard like Diet Coke's a millennial cigarette or something like that. And then it's, even though if there's no truth to it, you are starting to make those associations. And that's how false perceptions can be built over time.
Yeah, I think a lot of things we do is to kind of springboard a conversation. If we're wrong, call us out. I mean, we got no problem being wrong, clearly.
Clearly.
I know we have the song for you, Virginia, but I'm just as fucking wrong.
We do it a lot.
One piece of info that we didn't have the answer to, thank you to Curtis. He said, yes, you can get suspended for one game if you fight in the Olympics hockey.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. So you're not allowed to fight in the Olympics hockey?
I think
they don't want you to.
Canadian Bacon, who's a big hockey dude, obviously Canadian, he said, yeah, you're not supposed to fight in the Olympics.
Yeah, could you imagine if you had two countries that things are already tense and it turns into a massive brawl, and then a war actually breaks out because of how it's handled? Because imagine if you had a fight and then in the press conference, it's like, of course these stinking whatevers did this and that's just how they are. And then like going, oh yeah, us, you did that. And like, oh yeah, boom. And you're like, what just happened? I thought the Olympics were supposed to bring nations together.
Oh, I could see that totally. Weirder shit's happened.
True.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And thank you to Noel, who sent us this from North Dakota. They were having to get their windshield replaced, and they had a painting of a Bigfoot doing it to a Jeep. Bigfoot's coming out and replacing your windshield. Now, it's a painting that somebody's done. It's not really Bigfoot.
That's awesome.
Yes. He said, by the way, in North Dakota, it is snowing and 11 degrees. Have fun with that.
We cannot complain.
You have to go to the South Dakota. It's a lot warmer.
Is it?
No, I have no fucking clue.
It's still cold. Both, yeah. We're going to get a little bit of cold. I think this weekend looks like it's really warm. I think we're in the mid 80s. I think like maybe Saturday and Sunday. So it's going to be balmy and nasty. But then I think early next week we get cold again. So
cool. Inconsistency. Ready. Up, down, up, down.
It's menopausal.
It is, but boy, you want to talk about menopausal weather, go live in the Midwest.
Yeah.
It will be -10 and then 60 the next day. And what's going on?
Up.
It really is.
Worse than us, huh?
Yeah. From what I remember, I mean, unless I'm wrong, but I remember the Midwest being, you never knew what you're going to get. Like looking at the weather. Here, I don't have to look at the weather that often. I really rarely do. But there you have to know hour by hour because it just radically shifts.
You're right. Once we get to a certain month, you just know it's hot as balls until...
That's it, yeah. And then you know what to expect every single... You're right. 5 to 6 months out of the year, you don't really have to check the weather.
Right.
You know what it's going to be. So, yeah, they're definitely a lot more unpredictable. All righty. Well, that is going to do it for us here today. Thank you very much. We've only got 1 day left, and there's a ton of stuff going on this weekend. It'll be a little bit hot, but I will give you the rundown on everything so you do not miss it. So make sure you don't miss tomorrow's KVJ show. We'll talk to you then. Goodbye.